Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from Sew Hungry Hippie, and tonight we're going to do a live tutorial, as I have said on social media, because we just did not have time to do some editing. So hopefully everything goes well and we'll see what happens. I am going to show you tonight how to do a project bag. This one is a step out for me to show you how to add the binding on at the end. I just made this today. You know, no measurements, just kind of playing around to see what happened. So if I can do this, I know you can do this. If you need more of a structured pattern, because I'm not going to talk really in depth today about measurements, because it doesn't matter. You just make everything fit and it's fine. I'll show you. I'll walk you through it. And you can watch this again later and sew it with me at the same time. But if you like something more structured, we just listed the Project Bag 2.0 pattern. It's a paper pattern from by Annie. We do have this in stock now. We previously just had kits for it, and I'm not going to be doing the handle because I don't like the way it sits. So we have that pattern for you. You can play with that if you need it, or you can follow me. Today I'm going to be using the TPU vinyl. This is the skulls. The sugar skulls. I love it. I designed it, so I'm going to use it today. I'm using Gutermann all-purpose thread, which is what I use 99.9% of the time when I'm sewing, especially with vinyl, but I use it for everything, for garments, for vinyl, for bags, for craft projects, what have you. I will be sewing on my Juki TL2000. That's a domestic machine. I haven't done anything special to this. I do have a Teflon foot on my machine, and I'm not going to take it off. I'm just going to use that the whole time. Other materials I'll be using today include Soft and Stable. I'm going to be using scraps. If you remember, I took you through a tutorial where I put scraps of Soft and Stable together. So that's what I'm going to do today. Let's just get started, eh? I'm going to make these edges really straight. And then I'm going to take my batting tape. We have this in the shop. Oh, I think we might just have one roll left, actually. And I'm going to lay it on here. Since I've got you here, some other tools that I'm going to be using include the double-sided sticky tape right here. I have the overhead camera on, Ramel. It's okay. He's trying to sneak out of here. I'm going to be using one of my zippers, nylon zipper, but it looks like metal. I'll be using lots of Wonder Clips. I have my Easy Point and Press tool available. I have chalk and a friction pen for marking in case I need them. I will be using my Hera marker to mark quilting lines. I'll have my walking foot nearby. I wanted to show you this. I do not need it with my machine, but you might want to change to a walking foot or a rolling foot when you're quilting. It's just an option. And then, of course, cutting tools and an acrylic ruler always help. My vinyl, and that should be it. Okay, oh, and my iron. So I'm going to bring this over to my little ironing table here. I'm going to put that piece of tape, the batting tape, across that seam so that I can use this scrap vinyl. I just have my iron on full blast. I think the other camera is set up for my machine, and Ramel had to go do something, so I'm not going to flip it. There's one side with the tape on it. I'm going to put tape on the other side as well, just so it's really sturdy. Sometimes I do that and sometimes I don't. But it's a good practice if you're putting it in a bag to just do it on both sides. It doesn't hurt. There is a sticky side on that tape. I have the full tutorial on my channel if you need to look that up. You can find it by going to sewhungryhippie.com and go to the blog. And then all the Sunday tutorials are listed in there for you. Okay, so now I've got a solid piece here. Let's go back overhead. We need, let me show you with the sample. We need, oh my gosh, I just ripped that right off. Can you believe I did that? I'll have to get Ramel to put that on. That's hilarious. That's because I didn't put my binding up there yet. We need an inside fabric, and we need an outside fabric. So that's the part that I'm working on right now. I'm going to put this as my inside fabric, and on this side, which would be the outside of the bag, I'm just going to use the same fabric because these are scraps and I already had them cut. I want to use my scraps up. All right, so I'm going to take that to the pressing table. I like to press those down. Now, if you have trouble with those layers sticking together, just use a little bit of 505. It's this stuff right in front of me. I'll grab the can. It's temporary spray adhesive, and sometimes I've used it when I'm quilting a quilt. It's wonderful. I find that just giving it a press makes the fabric stick to the foam just fine for me. So let's go overhead. Now, if you want to get real particular on your quilting, you can. You can get fancy with diamonds and shapes and whatever you want. I'm just going to make this quick, and I'm going to do 2.5-inch markings because you guys don't need to watch me quilting all night long, right? The Hera marker makes it really easy. Now I can see those lines. Now you probably can't because of the studio. Can you see it there? Studio lights are really bright. It's hard to see shadow, but it shows up just fine for me. There, you can see it there. So I'm going to go over to the machine and I'm going to quilt that middle line first. I have mine on a 3mm stitch length right now. I could probably make that bigger. Note that, okay, I have to stand funny when I'm doing this. Note that the fabric is a little smaller than the foam. And that's because I'm going to trim it to size in a few minutes once we've got this quilted. See how I just kind of pet it and make it stay straight? I'm going the same direction each time. Now earlier today I was not that careful and I went back and forth, and it was fine. But if you're getting lots of puckering, it could be because you need to go the same direction each time. So that is one thing. You don't need to lock stitch. All this gets sewn again. We're trimming it away, so your lock stitching will be lost anyways. That's why I'm not doing it. Okay, so we've got some big quilting there. Now I could go sideways as well. I think that would be really cool looking, so let's just do it quick. It won't take but a minute. I'm measuring from the edge. This ruler is 2.5 inches, so I can't go wrong as long as I'm lining up the edge of the ruler with the line that I make with the Hera marker. It'll be good. See that? All right, let's quilt these now really quick. I'll just go real fast here. Now, if you want to do one on the very outer edge, you can. Uh-oh, I'm almost out of thread. Why did that pop off? I swear, you just never know what's going to happen during a live. Much safer to pre-record. Oh, it came out of my needle. Let's hope I can thread this. Here comes Ramel in case if I can't. There we go. All right. We missed you.
I missed you too.
Come this way and say hi. You look fabulous. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm just doing some quilting right now.
Hi, everyone. That looks good. Good job.
Thanks. All right. So we've got the piece quilted. I'm going to give it a quick press. Oh, it looks like I lost bobbin. Maybe I'm out of bobbin. That's why it must have come unthreaded.
Ooh, do we have to?
I'm not quite out, but I'm close. I might as well switch it now because that's almost empty. So that's okay. Let's just switch it now so you don't have to stop later. You know what's funny is I had that thought earlier. I thought, I should really check my bobbin.
Well, that's one of the things we should expect when we're doing something live like this. Otherwise, I would have cut it from the video, but this is really live.
This is real life sewing, you know. Okay, here we go. There it is. I'm going to finish that line because it just ends in the middle. Okay, there we are. So now I've got this all quilted up and I'm going to trim it down. I'm going to trim these threads away. Oh, it ended there. That's okay. All right, let me take my acrylic ruler. Now I'm going to give you my measurement that I'm working with here in just a second. But I honestly just eyeballed this and thought, yeah, that's about a size of a bag I could easily use. And you can do that when you're sewing. You just make everything else fit. Okay, so there I'm going to get rid of that stuff. And here it is. Now our next step is cutting the vinyl and then putting this strip and this strip on the zipper. Super easy. Just use some tools to help you. But first, I'm going to see about how high I want my vinyl to go. So this is what I do. Honestly, I just bring it over. Actually, I think I have a piece cut that's pretty close because I had to cut it off my first pouch. Yeah, that's really close. So I don't need to bring it all the way down to the bottom. You can if you want to. That's totally up to you. But when I put on the binding, I don't want to try and sew that onto vinyl. I just don't feel like it, okay? So I put a fabric strip down here. The pocket still goes all the way down. No, it doesn't because it goes to right here. It could if I hadn't top stitched that right there because we'll sew this to the vinyl. But hey, Ramel, when you were gone, I pulled the pull right off my project bag because I didn't, like a cotton ninny head, I didn't sew the end
Oh, that's why you do that. That's why you show up.
Yeah, but I mean, the binding would have enclosed it.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been a problem. So do you feel like putting that on for me?
Oh, sure. By the way, I like how you lined up all those skulls.
The goals?
The skulls. They're lined up
skulls.
like perfectly almost.
Yeah, they look pretty good, right? Yeah. Okay, so you know what? Let's put the piece on all at one time while he fixes my
Which way does it go?
Zipper.
Does it this way or this way?
Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? Okay.
I don't think so.
I can't do it this way, so.
Okay, let's You can use any fabric scraps you have too, by the way. All you need is the width of your pouch, and then the height is totally determined by you. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to take you overhead and show you what I mean. So my zipper is going to have a strip at the bottom, kind of like this. This edge will be sewn to the vinyl, and then I'll have a strip up here.
Bam. Booyah.
Oh, thanks, hon. I knew you'd get it in about 5 seconds. And then I'm going to have a fabric strip down here. So what I mean by width is just make sure it goes across so you can trim it all after the fact, but the height doesn't matter. I could make this one even shorter. I could fold these in like this so I never have to use any interfacing. I might do that because then more skulls show. Yeah, let's do that. Can you make it so the camera can go to the iron? I think when
let me check that real quick.
it's on the sewing machine right now, so.
Yeah, let's flip it over. You ready?
Sure. Okay, not too bad.
Let me zoom in.
No, I don't think they need a zoom.
Now, what setting do you have it at?
Full blast. This is high heat. That's how I roll. So what I did is I took that strip and I folded it like binding. And I'm going to close that open section first. Okay, so now we can go to the sewing machine, Ramel.
Yep, ready.
Okay, go ahead. You can use a blending thread. I'm just, using white. And I do have to stand crooked to my machine. I can't stand right in front of my machine or I'd be blocking your view. So please be kind to me because this won't be my best stitching because I'm sewing like this.
I'm working on it. I'll change the angle.
I know, you'll fix it eventually. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is attach this to the bottom so that I can flip it down. So what I do, because this stuff can be kind of slick, is I take my double-sided sticky tape and I put it across this bottom edge here. You could put it on the fabric too, it doesn't matter. And now I'm going to place it, I want this edge up, so I'm going to place it like this. And now I'm going to sew all the way across here. I'm using a universal size 80 needle today because that's what I had in earlier. So I don't have to change much with my vinyls. Now I'm gonna put it down. I don't think we need to, but you can if you want to. Another option, if you don't want to flip it down, I could have just laid it on the tape and sewn it just flat on there. I do want to tell you that. You don't have to do it where you fold it down and then top stitch. I just like the look of it. So let's go back to the machine now that I've folded it down. And I'm going to turn up my stitch to a 4. I like a big chunky stitch. It's already attached, I'm just doing that top stitch. All right, there it is.
That looks nice.
Yeah, I like it, right? It's bold. Now we're going to add the fabric strips to our zipper and get that on the vinyl. So I already folded the bottom piece because, I don't know why, because I thought, you might be in a hurry. Let's go back to the iron and I'll show them what I do for both strips. It's exactly the same, just what we just did.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. So here's my strip. This one, for reference, is 2.5 inches and about 10 wide. My bag is 10 to 10.5 wide. And because this is not quite enough to do exact binding, I'm folding in each edge a bit, and I'm just going to use it like this. Does that make sense? So the raw edges are hidden. Let's go back overhead here. The raw edges are folded to the inside, but it's not done 4 times like binding. I just wanted to say, like, you can make it work for you if you don't have quite enough. I do that all the time. So I'm going to take my zipper and I'm going to put double sticky tape on the zipper edge. I think I've gone through 2 rolls of this week almost with all the stuff we've been doing, which is exciting. Right, Ramel, as far as filming?
Mm-hmm. Still have to do the finishing touches.
I know, you work your magic.
Yeah.
You're good at that. Okay, so I'm going to peel this paper away. We have this double-sided sticky tape in the shop. It's by Annie. You get 2 rolls. There's one in the front and one in the back. I have a roll in there still. Good. All right, so I'm going to take that shorter edge and place it right on there. And it's not permanent. If you place that wrong, you can always peel it up and replace it. That's why I love this stuff. Now I'm going to take off the second one. And I'm going to place it just so it grabs, and then I press. And now it's really easy to sew. Now, if this flapping back here is bugging you, you know what you can do? Yep, put some tape. You can just put some tape in there and hold it down. And then you don't have to worry that it's flipping up or something is wrong, or you don't have to cut a bigger piece of fabric than you already cut. Just make it work. There. Okay, so now I'm going to take my zipper to the machine and I'm going to sew right here. And I'm going to sew right here, this edge. Actually, can you see that?
Let me zoom in.
Yeah. I think you're zoomed in, aren't you? Oh. Okay, so I'm sewing this edge and hitting the tape. And I'm hitting this edge and hitting the tape. And by tape, I mean the zipper tape. Your needle will not gunk with this stuff, so don't be afraid of it. Play around, have fun, think positively. You know, your mind controls a lot of things.
Let me switch to the machine.
I don't know. Do you want to?
Sure.
Okay. Just tell me if I'm in the way.
You're good.
There's that side attached. I'm going to do this side. This one went a little crooked, so let me straighten it up. I heard something just happen. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, oh yeah, I'm using a really silky deco bob in the bobbin. And once in a while, it acts up like a spoiled child. Let's see if I threaded my bobbin right. Yeah. It's funny because on the Jukies, everything is backwards. It goes counterclockwise, and I don't know. It's just different. So when you go from a Bernina to a Juki, I have to get my brain on working again. But that's always good. Keeps the mind fresh. Just like those dang games like Wordle. I don't even know how people do that. Elizabeth can get it in one try, basically. I don't even know how you do that. Okay, so now we have got this, I call that the zipper piece, right? So the zipper piece is constructed. So let's sew that on here. Now, instead of doing this and flipping it up, let's just sew it directly onto the vinyl. How is everyone doing tonight anyways? Hopefully good. We're supposed to get snow tomorrow. At night, I should say.
People are asking if this is a new pattern released.
Oh, it's not really, you don't really need a pattern for this. I mean, it's based off the By Annie project bag, which I talked about in the beginning. So it's not really a pattern. It's based off her idea, and I just winged it. I just kind of looked at the cover and like came in and did this. So I think what I'm trying to say to you is have some confidence to just try it, to just do things, to just go for it. It doesn't matter if it doesn't turn out perfectly, or even if it doesn't turn out. You learned something. So,
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, that's what I did today. I just came over before Ramel got up.
No.
And I thought, oh, let's do this. Actually, Marilyn gave me the idea yesterday. She said, I really want a bag like this. Why don't you do this on a tutorial? And I said, I'll do it tomorrow. Remember, she came in right at the end of the day. So that's what I thought we would do. So, you know, like I said, if you want a paper pattern, we support other designers, and we have these in the shop, and you can do this. You can also just sew with me and wing it, okay? All right.
This way sounds a lot more fun.
I mean, it's very freeing when you when you believe in yourself that, oh, well, I can do some things without pure step-by-step directions, you know? It's a confidence thing. I know a lot of people on the show tonight in the audience probably cook without recipes. You're just confident. You just know. And that comes with experience. It comes with time. It comes with doing it. You can't expect to get there if you just talk about it or think about it. You have to do it. I know you can. Okay, so now the zipper is attached, and I've got all these threads all over the place. Let's trim it down, and then we're going to add it to the bag, and then we're almost done. I kid you not. This is so fun. Oops, there goes my phone. Okay, let's do this. Again, I'm not going by any measurements. I'm just evening things up on the side. Now I'm going to place this straight edge along a bottom line, this straight edge along a side line. So I don't have a trapezoid. Hopefully I have a square pouch or a rectangle pouch, whatever shape you're going for. I'm going to move my pole out of the way so that this edge can be nice and straight.
All you're looking for is straightness, right?
Yeah, because I don't care what size it ends up. It's going to work. Just for reference, this one it's 10 3/4 wide, and this is just a little over 10, so 10 1/4 tall. Here's my backing. I have no idea what this is. Watch, it doesn't matter. We're going to place it. If it was hugely large, we just trim it down. It doesn't matter. I'm lining up all these edges. Look, I'm going to have to trim that up there a bit. That's okay. I'm just looking preliminarily here. Make sure everything is looking good before I sew everything down. So from that top edge, I'm just going to trim off about 1/4 inch so that it's not overhanging, because if I have lots of overhang, I can't clip very well. Use my clips. Oh my gosh, I'm going to love this.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's cute. And even if it's not perfect, it's usable and I like it. That's all that counts. So here we go. We're going to put clips all around. And then all we have to do is go around the outer edge. Make sure your pull is out of the way. Because once I sew around that outer edge, then it's time to put on the binding. And this is much easier than you think. This is much easier than you think. I'm going to take you through it. I think I have a little bit of fabric overhang on that bottom edge, so always check the back side. Make sure, like, see how my clip pushed that fabric inward? I didn't see I did that. So check the back, make sure all your fabric is flat along all the edges.
And what is it that you mean by that?
What do you mean?
It wasn't flat.
So I had put on my clip from the front, and this is how my lining fabric was. Let me show you. Can you zoom in? This is how my lining fabric was. It's pushed in. Now this is a light fabric, so you can't see it well, but here's the foam and no fabric. So when I would sew, I would miss that lining. So you have to check it from the back side. And if you didn't baste those outer edges or your quilting is far apart like mine, you just need to make sure that your lining is flat. And all the edges are at the edge. That's what I mean by that. Okay, now I can sew around the outer edge. That was sticking to me. And then here, that's the one that's attached. The binding strips, I just cut them 2.5 inches cross grain. I don't cut it on the bias. I don't mess with that. That's for curves. You don't need to cut binding on the bias unless you're doing curves.
You want me to switch to the machine?
Okay, yeah, let's hope I can stand so that, okay. It helps if you have a, what's it called, an extension table so your project can lay flat. Can you zoom out at all, Ramel? Just back it up a little bit. Yeah, so I like to have on my extension table here, but I don't have that here. So I just need to hold my project up so nothing is dragging and pulling. I'm going to get to the corner, needle down. My needle is down in the project. I'm lifting my foot and I'm turning. Foot back down, and here we go. This looks like metal, but it's nylon teeth, so I can sew right on over it. I've got my Teflon foot on, so the vinyl will not stop my sewing. And now I'm going to go across the bottom. Needle down, lift your foot, and turn. I'm using my foot as a seam allowance. This is the skinnier foot, so it's fine. It's about, it's somewhere around 1/4 inch. Good enough. And this is attached. So everything is attached now. If I wanted to piece out at this stage, I suppose I could. But I like a binded edge. It looks really nice. Let me show you. Diane Kroll made this version, this little one. See how her binding looks? It just looks really finished and nice. So that's what we're going to do next.
Wow, that looks pretty.
Isn't it pretty? This vinyl is coming back in soon, so be sure that you sign up for notifications. It's not restocked yet, but it's going to be soon. It's been ordered, been paid for. on the way. I'm just trimming any edges that are overages that I don't want to mess with on binding. I do that a lot with bags, and I just try to trim what I can. All right, let's do the binding. Where'd my fabric go? Here it is. I was cleaning up and I shouldn't have been. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece of fabric. This is speckled from Ruby Star. We have this in the shop too. I think this one is called Confetti. And I'm just going to cut my strip. I'm going to use my 2.5-inch ruler. It's not as long as the fabric, but it does the job. I just slide it up. So I place it on the fabric edge. And there we are. Now this strip will be plenty to go around, I think. It should be. Hopefully. If not, I'll add more later. Okay, so then we take it to the ironing board. I think I have a couple of binding videos for you already on YouTube. So if you need more in-depth on binding, you could watch one of those. Do you want to take it to the iron camera?
Oh, wrong one. Here we go.
Okay. So for this strip, I fold it in half. Now, a lot of times quilters will use this as their binding, and that's fine. You can absolutely do that. Because I'm self-taught and I was doing garments first, I like to use double fold binding quite often. So that's even on quilts, garments, bags, it's often what I will do.
What happened to that machine that used to do that?
Yeah, it died, Ramel, and they don't make it anymore. They do sell on eBay, though, for hundreds of dollars. You fixed mine a few times. I used that thing hard for about a decade. Maybe longer.
Yeah, until I couldn't fix it anymore.
Yep. That was from Simplicity. He's talking about this binding machine I used to feed a tube of fabric into, and it would spit it out. And now all kinds of people have all these little gadgets that will do it really quickly. You know, half the time when I need a gadget, I can't find it. I'm just going to say it. So this doesn't bother me. I'm just going to do this real quick. We're going to end up with a nice little piece. Let's move to front. Okay. So now, as I put this on, I'm going to take my binding, unfold it. This is kind of a cheater method because these, I am not going to spend time connecting my two ends on this thing. Okay, so place the bag wrong side. That's too tight, Ramel. You got to back it out a little bit. Yeah, I know you like that zoom, but I'm going to place it here and get my clips. So it's all the way open. And I'm going to be sewing in this ditch. All the way around the bag. Now I'm not going to clip everything because I'm going to show you when we get to the corner about a 1/4 inch away. I stop, I take it out of the machine, I fold it up, make a crease, fold it back down, and then resume sewing. Okay? And those make perfect mitered corners every time. So let's take it over to the machine and let's start sewing.
Here we go.
All right. Do you think it's too bright?
Yeah, right now I can't see it right now.
So how do I turn this light off?
I don't know, but maybe I can. Yeah,
You don't know? I'm going to take it out. You can't see this part, but I'm folding it up and folding it back down. Maybe the next corner I'll take it back to the table. The only thing here, you want to be careful, you know, that your zipper pull is out of the way. I'm stopping 1/4 inch away. Let's take it overhead.
Overhead?
Uh-huh. I stopped.
Can I zoom in?
No, just leave it right here. I'm folding, and I'm folding back again. We're going to start sewing this down. Oh my gosh, this is going to be close if I have enough. Look at that. I'm going to be, because of that corner, I think I'm going to be like a couple of inches short.
What?
Yeah, so you know what? This is what I do, okay? We'll fix mistakes on the fly. It's not really a mistake. I didn't measure. So how can it be a mistake if I didn't measure? We're just going to add some more binding right on the edge here. We don't cut on the bias, so we don't have to worry about any crazy, you know, sewing it together on the diagonal and all that. None of that matters because we're just working with straight edge binding. Boom, I've got more than enough now. So let's take it back over. Dun, 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 dun. Up. Down. This is called free range sewing. Somebody's going to be, what? What's that? Oh, darn it, Ramel. You got to tell me. Up. And down. And then, yeah, you know what? I would have been 1/4 inch short had I not added that. Just 1/4 inch. Can you even believe that? That was so close. But we're all good.
Do you want to switch to the machine now?
No,
Okay.
I'm almost done. Okay, so now let's go overhead. So here we are. This is the back. Now we're going to flip it to the front. See that pretty mitered corner? You could also start on the front and flip it to the back. It doesn't matter. You do what you like best. So now it's like this, and then it tucks again, and we have a really nice edge here. Really nice. And because of that double fold, I don't get shadowing. I don't see that gumdrop Kona underneath the binding. There's a couple of layers here, so it's very clean and crisp, which I like. You know? Here comes this side. You fold it. It already wants to fold because we trained it, but you just make it crisp. And there's that mitered corner. I always put a clip to hold it. I guess you can zoom in more if you want to, Ramel. I know you're itching to zoom it. Yeah. Do you think it's still clear though? Is the picture crisp? Because I don't know. I feel like maybe it's not as clear. So Now that's where I joined them like a ninny muggins. What does Elf say? Yeah, cotton-headed ninny muggins. So it's not a perfect thing here, but it's good enough. It's good enough for Natalie. For my bag, if I was selling them, I'd probably join the ends like you do in a quilt. See this? It just wants to behave. Folding in, folding in. There's the corner. Fiddle with it if you want to, or don't. There we are. Now if you want to, you can use double-sided sticky tape to hold this down. If you have to come back to this at a later time, you could always do that. I just sew it down because with the clips, it's pretty simple. With some good old-fashioned pressing, you can make fabric behave pretty well. Okay, so let's zoom it out, hon.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were zoomed out already. Okay. You can come in and adjust anything you want to adjust, make it even. Looks like this one up here could use a little. If you want to insert your tag, you could insert a tag anywhere. Like if I had one down here, I'd put it down here.
Which one will you use?
Maybe I Was Made for You.
Oh.
That might be fun for a gift.
Oh.
So do you want to see me sew that on, or is that good enough? Are y'all done?
No, go ahead and sew it. Finish it.
Finish it?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Don't I need to switch it?
Sure, that is your job, right? Or do you want to come up here and do this part?
Maybe next time.
It's coming up, Ramel. The PJ pants are coming up.
And
So get ready. We
Sure.
want to see you in your top hat again.
oh, the top hat. Okay. I don't think that's gonna give me confidence to.
You what?
I don't think that's gonna give me confidence to sew.
No?
Nah.
I thought it was like your thinking cap.
I have different ones.
Oh. I could have made the binding smaller. It would have been a skinnier binding, so a lot of times I'll do 2-inch. But this one is 2.5, so it's kind of a thicker binding along the edge. I think my next one I'm going to do 2-inch. Thank you. Boom. Done. Trim threads. And you're done. So now I can put my sewing supplies in here. In fact, you get so mad, not really mad, but kind of mad, when we're filming and I can't find my stuff because I have it in 48 places.
Hallelujah.
So here we are. We're going to use it. It's going to be implementation station.
Finally. No, I mean, I'm kidding, but I'm not.
I know. Look, even my fray block can go in there, my pins. This thing can hold a lot. My elastic and safety pins. I have like favorite safety pins for threading elastic through. My basting tape for putting the scraps of foam together. Constantly using that. Ooh, that puppy's full. So there it is. You could even put a grommet up here and hang it up on your sewing wall. There's so many things you can do, and I know you guys are absolute geniuses, and you're going to make them even better than this. So go do it, and then post in the Facebook group, because I want to see these. Hopefully you're using So Hungry Hippie vinyl. This one I designed. Did I tell you that? Actually, I did all of them that are here right now. We have some new ones coming in really soon, but I can't tell you about that yet. All right, do I have any questions I need to solve before we peace out?
I don't see any questions. Oh, thank you, Cyril. Cyril, jeez, sorry for if I pronounced it wrong, but I like that comment.
Why? What'd she say? It's pulling inward because I have it so packed. Ramel makes a great assistant. He inspired my husband to buy the Rivet Press after watching the video. Excellent. Oh, that is so good. You're going to use that. That is going to be such a help in your sewing tool arsenal. Good for you. And I'm so glad Ramel helped inspire to get that purchased. That's awesome. He is a great assistant.
I'm all right. Here's another one.
All right. I have never made a project with vinyl. First time here. Is this beginner friendly? Judy, I think it's pretty beginner friendly. I think if you were to start off for the first time, you might want to make the soft vinyl quilted pouch. We have that kit. Let me see. Let me show you that. This is probably a little easier than the clear vinyls. We have different colors in the shop, but it's the same technique as when I was quilting the vinyl in the beginning, and this is very, very beginner friendly. I'm an advocate, though, of doing what you want to do, regardless of your skill level, because if you think you can do this, you can. Honestly, it's true. My first garment was a crazy Victorian gown, and looking at it now, I see all the things I did wrong. But when I made it for the first time, I really wanted to make that. And so it happened. And it was great, So I'm a big advocate for just going for it. Because I don't think the level matters as much as tenacity and following the steps one by one and having patience. If you can be patient with yourself, you will get there. This is not difficult. You can get there. And I think you can do it in the first try. This clearer vinyl can be more of a challenge for some people, but it's not if you have the right tools. So you do want to get a Teflon foot for your machine. Whatever brand you have, you want to go to your local sewing shop and get that brand Teflon foot for your model of machine. It makes a huge world of difference. There are workarounds like masking tape and tissue paper and yada yada, but at the end of the day, the best result is going to come from using the right tools. And a Teflon foot is A+. A+, you're going to be fine if you can use that. And then just go through some of the tutorials. We talk about tension, we talk about thread. You want to use a strong all-purpose thread. I use Gutermann. I have it in the shop. I have tips and tricks as a blog post. Maybe you or Michelle can post that thing. If you order vinyl from me, we put in the vinyl tips to help you out. It's a cute infographic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whew, I'm getting a headache. You guys, I have to tell you, I'm detoxing, and by that I mean I'm going on this special diet so that I can get off of my psoriasis medication. And so I'm doing like organic, whole foods and all this stuff. But I think the toxins are coming out because I feel it hard today. Don't you usually go through that when you quit sugar?
Yeah.
You get like headaches. I only had 1 cup of coffee, which is unheard of for me.
That's what I'm doing right now, 1 cup of coffee.
Yeah. So if you see me in the store and I'm just like spacing out, you know why.
Oh.
Okay, well, I think that's a wrap. I'm so grateful for you being here. Thank you so much. I think tonight at 7, So Sweetness has a tutorial.
Yeah, they're going live to
So
the
they'll be
live
going live
from
at 7?
once a month. Yeah.
Yeah. So go watch her and tell her I said hi. And we will see you on, when's our next time? Wednesday for
Wednesday.
Matchups.
Yep.
All right. Peace, love, sewing.